In Texas today, we have a situation where an adult had been posing as a child and was sort of arrested for being in high school at the age of 34 and purporting to be 15. Now, I'm not sure what the crime is here. I know that false information and so forth should be a crime, but a 34-year-old in high school, that shouldn't be a crime. And this seems to be the real issue. This old person is in this high school. This is the crime. They aren't talking about the fraud and all that. That's not the important thing. It's just the age problem. And then they have some jokey psychologists who said, well, this could be a problem because the older ones could manipulate the little ones and all this dumb stuff. Like these older folks that are going to go into high school coming from Mars or somewhere. The same thing you have in churches. Same thing you have in a whole variety on the bus, in college. This guy just is 18 in college and you have somebody 70. I mean, we need to train kids right so that they're going to make certain problems. I see that, we train kids about sex since as soon as they go to school in elementary school, they start talking about sex because they are perverts in the community that will pervert them, and so they need to know about sex. And what we have is a whole bunch of kids with information that they're going to put into practice real soon, and seems as if knowledge also precipitates sort of puberty. Okay. Now, in this instance here with this older folk in high school, I think if we had a lot more older folks in high school, it would make school a lot better as it relates to discipline. Now, I see some 50-year-old that's coming out say, do you know if I could get me some weed to buy? In the middle of the night, this old man in this wheelchair, this old woman with gray hair, granny out there, look, you know if I could get some weed? I don't know where you can get some weed. I don't know. I don't do drugs. I don't know where you're going to find that. But it's an embarrassment. You thought that, this person would have been smart and realized that, no, I can't do this. I have to encourage my grandkids and my kids to stay away from drugs and all that. Oh, no, they in it. It's like, this is so nice wearing a short dress. And, this is such fun, But if you have the right older folks in the class and they're saying, we need to respect this teacher, and when the teacher talks to them, they're going to say, I'm grown and I got my own kids and grandkids. You can't talk to me like that. They're going to do what needs to be done. What you have to say, and they're going to just respond as submissive people and just move along. And they're going to bring a mature thing to the school, and I'm sure that the level of in that class, the synergy and the cultural experience in that class is going to be superior to one that only have a bunch of kids who just watching cartoons and grow up and way out. Now, when I was 20, I was 20 in March, and in September I started high school. I went into the 10th grade, and they did not tell me that. I know that these young girls in the school, I'm not going to have no relationship with none of them. I'm not going to talk to them. I'm not going to be associated with them. I'm not going to be doing none of that stuff. But in the class, I mean, I'm mature. I'm getting my work done. I'm, doing what I need to do. I'm there on time and the whole 9 yards. And many, many students were helped, I'm sure. Now, once a white guy from America or somewhere came down to the college, and for high school he was having a presentation. So they needed somebody to do a sort of a singing situation, sort of inspirational singing. Well, I had experience in that. So the person who was coordinating things called me aside and said, we're going to go on. So this guy this white guy was wondering, is he going to do it? He said, yeah, I mean, he's older than these guys here, and he, he know what he's doing and so on. And he was surprised that, I did a good job. I mean, I didn't need him to tell me. I know that I did a good job in the whole 9 yards. And so students will learn how to do things. I went up to the stage there, and just like if I'm, in my own home, I just getting done what needs to be done. And they're learning. So I believe that if we have some older folks who have experience to come back and be in middle school and in high school, and folks watching and listening and so on, it's going to improve discipline and the whole learning experience in schools. Now, in my country also is the same thing, because when I was 16, we were so poor. I was going to a school. It is called primary education. It's the same school you go straight through, and when you reach 16, you have to go. At 11, if you have money, you could go to high school. And if we had passed a certain exam, which I did not write because I was 10 years older, 10 days older than the limit in the exam, my mom said, go and write it. I said, well, if I pass that, they'll come and find I'm too old and I'll have some problems. Then also, if I'd gone to that school, sometimes nothing to eat, no money, no nothing. It would have been so hard, and I might have dropped out and then scar my life forever. You know what I mean? Then on the other hand, some people you might hook, but I don't want nobody to fix my business anyway. So I didn't go through that. So I went over there and I was 20. Now there was a guy who was in a class in 11th grade, and he was, I think, 39 years old, and we never messed around with the young girls. Now the teachers might like us because we are sometimes older than them or their age group and so on. I remember this teacher had like this guy and so on, but he wasn't interested. This is a side though. When he got his bachelor's degree, he came back on campus and I'm saying, hey, and man, just ignoring me, bro. And we were roommates once. He used to tell us, anytime you hear me speaking wrong, help correct me and so on. So he say, bro, that's wrong verb there, bro. Talking about many people, you have to use were or in the plural verb. We helped him a lot. And when he graduated and he went on, he got a job. He just became so proud. He wouldn't even talk to me, and I wasn't stupid like him or whatever. And I was good, and I worked with him and all that stuff. But not to say that I think they fired him because he got into some fraud. They were buying tickets for people to get a foreign exchange that every person gets maybe $1,000 a year in foreign exchange. So they'll buy a ticket for you for maybe $100 to go to Grenada or St. Vincent, and they get a $1,000 foreign exchange. And what the government recognized that a whole bunch of tickets that were sold to go to here, the money was cashing over there. So the Zirin and Fungi was a part of this game, and charge him or to tell him that we won't charge him, but you guys got to discipline him. So they fired him. That goes with when people kind of I don't know how to describe it, but with me, no matter how much education I have, I'm not gonna make those structural changes like that. I am me. I've been poor. I might get into a situation, but I'll never scorn the poor and think that I'm big boy now. I'm not gonna talk to these nobodies over there. I talk to everybody, big, high, low, everybody. And so this instance here with this person here, I just think is a bunch of racism, because we see in New York where two people had kidnapped or abducted a child, a baby. This black woman, she took this baby, and when the child was a certain age, she said, oh, and then they lock her up, give her, I can't remember, maybe 10 years or something like that. And there was a white set of people that had kidnapped the guy the same way, and they said, oh, it was so good. The boy himself said, oh, I'm happy, because if I were my parents, I mightn't have had the life I did. They took care of me, they took me to baseball, I played all this, I had a good life. I think these people are noble. I'm going to meet my parents over there, but no problem. But then the black girl, I think she was horrified that this woman stole her or whatever, and the woman went to jail. So I don't know if some racism involved. But on the other hand, I think that we should do that. We should have old folks, even if 60, don't want to go to school in high school or middle school, no problem. If they're going to cause no problem, if they're going to come to school and they're going to start doing stuff like what those teenagers doing, indiscipline or whatever, they got to go. And they know straight up that as soon as they start forming relationships with these young people, that's a no-no, and you'll go to jail. And problem solved. But for the psychologists to say that, oh, it's so bad, that, they will, whatever. I mean, this is society out there, in church, various ways that people get together. You have old people, you have young people. And you know what? In my country or in the third world, people are so poor that you have one building where everybody meets to worship. Okay? Now in America, where you have so much money, you have the youth church over there, you have the kindergarten church over there, you have the adult church over here, and all it's doing is keeping these kids perpetually immature, because they say, oh, they're youth until they're 35 or 30. In our countries, by the time you reach 7, 8, you're with these old folks, and they're not speaking for you, they're speaking to the old folks. But you know what? You're going to have to grow up real quick to understand. And you see, in religion and all that, you have, and even in education, you have God in there that's teaching, bringing things. Even the baby is going to get this sermon. Okay? So, this, trying to make this woman look so bad and don't want old folks and young people education, that's what teachers do. Some of them might sit down at the desk with the guys. And I say, let's go, man, let's go with the work, let's go, bro, let's go, man, come on, let's go. All right. So, and all the folk would be there in the same, doing the same thing. We had to stop this talk, we got to get this work. When we finish our work, we could talk, but right now, let us get this. And the conversation that this older person is going to engage them in, not anything immoral or anything like that, but they'll say something like, when I was your age, I was just playing around and I got all these babies and all this stuff, and I got to come back to school, it's hard. I mean, I'm sure they're going to learn from that. So, hey, I think that, trying to beat this woman up for having registered in high school is just, that is immoral. Okay?